Hello everyone, welcome back. Episode number 5 of our walkthrough of Elden Ring. We are working on getting Platinum. Last episode we got the Winged Scythe, we got a few upgrades along the way. We went down and got another 2 upgrades for our Flask, and we bought the Lantern. We started here and kind of made our way around. Went down into the demi-human ruins and got a staff for our mages. And then we went over to the church and bought a item from the merchant. And then we ended up going up here to Gatefront Ruins. So from Gatefront Ruins, we are going to make our way up. You see this big giant up here. We're just going to kind of run on our horse, and we're going to grab this item and make our way past the giant. And we're just going to keep on going until we get to this first checkpoint that we have marked for ourselves up here. Alright, so right here, another Flask upgrade. And then we're going to make our way on up. And right up here, touch this site of grace. Okay, some wolfers will show up. Should be about 3 or 4 of them. So 4 total. Kill the doggers. And I'm not spending my runes at this point, so let's touch the grace rest. So we still need, I think, 1 more for the Flask upgrade. Don't have enough yet. We're going to get this item up here. Stonesword key. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to talk to Rodrika.
Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me, fought for me. Only to have their arms taken, their legs taken, even their heads taken. Did you know? It's quite a lot.
She gives you another gesture. And then talk to her again. Go through her dialogue a 3rd time, and she gives you another summon, the Jellyfish ashes. And then talk to her 1 more time, and she tells you to tell them that you love them. And that should be the end of her dialogue. Alright, so if you continue up this road, you will end up in the castle. We're not quite ready for that yet, so we're going to make our way over here. I'll show you guys a bit more stuff. Alright, so we've got some giant up here. You can farm these giants for runes if you need to. They give you about 1,000 runes apiece per kill. Pretty good source of early game rune farms. So the strength knot is what we came up here for. But, you know, we're here. Let's might as well kill the giant once. Two hits with square off. Maybe 3 should do that. And you can get the crit. Again, go for the legs. Just watch out for the jump attack. Watch out for the dive attack. The giants hit quite hard. But they do drop 1,000 runes, so not a bad thing to kill them. That's why I said I'm not worried about like losing 1,500 runes. It is not the end of the world. Alright. So that's where we're going next. Get rid of that marker. Go down this way. There's some more enemies here. Kill this one if you want. Those guys hit pretty hard, so be careful. There should be 2 of them. Yep, there's the other one. Some fire arrows on the way. Heal up. And especially when they charge up like that, definitely be careful. Heal up. And then we're gonna go right over here. Markers are not 100% accurate because, you know, I'm just guessing based on the map, but you're gonna go to this little shack. Alright, so this is the Warmaster shack. I'm gonna go in here. You can heal up if you want. Talk to this gentleman, Bernal. He's gonna ask you, ready to take up the fight? And if your faith holds firm, you're gonna say, it does hold firm. Alright, now he sells Ashes of War. So, a couple of good ones here. You've got Impaling Thrust. That's pretty good. You can use this on great swords. And spears. I like it a lot. Stamp is what comes on most of the great swords. Endure is quite good. I like putting this on weapons from time to time. I use it quite a bit. Warcry, also good. This is can be used on like daggers. It makes your charge attack stronger. Spinning Slash is okay. You got Parry, Stormblade, Quick Step. So what I'm going to buy here though is the no skill. And I also like to buy Impaling Thrust and Endure. Now, you don't have to buy all these, but these are the ones that I like to use. No skill, in particular, is the important one. You might think, well, why do I want no skill? Let me just show you. So for no skill, I can put this on my shield, and now parry won't be on my shield anymore. Why is that important, you might ask? Well, you notice I've been two-handing my weapon. Well, now if I don't two-hand my weapon and I use my Ash of War, I get the sword's Ash of War instead of the parry. So that's very beneficial. Also at this Warmaster shack, if you're looking at the building from the Grace, to the left of the building there are 1, 2, 3 root resins. Sometimes you can get 2 from one of those drops, and then there's some gold increment there. Now you can reset and get about 10 of these. That should be enough. So we'll just rest. And we'll come back over here again. So about 3 times is usually enough. So that one gave me 2. We'll do it one more time. And now these will be used to make the greases. So if you ever need more of these, you can come back and see we got a bunch that time. And again, you can get the gold if you want. And those are used for one of the grease types. Alright, so let's see. From here, think it's like right here maybe. And then up here. And then right here. That's where we're going. So for one, let's just go back up this cliff over here. There should be you'll know it because there'll be a bunch of giants, right? There we go. Alright, so first you got the graveyard, so run up on these. They'll explode. Get these items from the graves. May have to get off your horse. Sometimes it's easier. A bunch of rune items. Sometimes the bats will come over here and bug you. Just here for the rune items. Kill the bats if you want. Anytime you see these cemeteries, there's probably a bunch of these rune items. Alright, so we got those. That was one more. Alright, so a whole bunch of rune items. I think that's all of them. I'm just going to make a quick loop over here just to make sure. There's the giants. Alright, so when you see the giants, there's some wolves over here as well. So be careful. And now from the giants, if you follow this path over here, there's a little bit more. So in the middle of the giants here, you'll notice that there's something shiny. And what you can do is you can get one of these giants angry, and he'll follow you. And you can use the giant to bust open this statue. Assuming that he actually hits it. Let's get this item. Alright, so we got 5 smithing 1s, 1 smithing 2. That should be more than enough to upgrade our weapon of choice. Okay, so now that we got those, we can make our way back up here. And there's our storm shack. So it's basically right behind the storm shack. And we got knocked off our horse by the mean giant. You can resummon the horse. And then I'm just going to drop down here. And we want to make our way to number 2 now. Alright, so now we should have plenty of smithing stone 1s to upgrade. And we're starting to get a good amount of smithing 2s. So you guys plenty of upgrade materials. So the number that we're looking for is actually up on this cliff. So we're going to kind of go back a little bit. We're going to go up this cliff here. And up on top up here, there is, be careful not to go too far that way, you're going to invade it, but there's a horse guy right here. So if you just kind of ride up and quickly, and use your Ash of War, like twice, and knock him off. And you can kill him real quick. And he'll give you another Ash of War called Golden Vow, which we are going to use. We'll put that on our dagger shortly. Alright, so we can take this marker off, and let's just, for speed's sake, we'll warp back to the knight's shack here. Alright, so from here, we're going to head. So like, this is the cliff that we're on. Right here is where we want to go now, so we're going to jump up there. So that's the cliff that we're on. So we just kind of go straight from here. A bunch of wolves. So again, don't go too far that direction. You just want to get right up on this cliff here. And you could have done this without warping, but I wanted to be able to show you where it was at. So from here, there's this rune right here, and you see there's an item. So just come over here, grab this item, the lance, another weapon. So I'm trying to get you guys a bunch of weapon options so you have some choices on what you use. Try them out, see what you like. There's no bad weapon. I mean, there are bad weapons, but we're just going to run in here. Over to this side here, we have a treasure chest. If you're quick enough, you can open it, get the item out, which is a shield, and get out of here. And then over here, there's a knight. Be careful of that guy. Grab this item. And then we're just going to book it out of here. You can kill everything here if you want, but those are the only two things in there. And we're just going to make our way down the road further to our next point. And you're going to hear a voice. Hello? Can you hear me? Alright, so go ahead and rest here. And now you have a choice to make. Now, this NPC drops a item for you pretty early if you kill him. If you don't kill him, he will help you out in several fights. And those fights, you don't need him per se for the fights, but he does make them easier. If you don't kill him, near the end of the game, you'll get a better version of the item that he drops. And also you'll get, I don't know if you've seen Let Me Solo Him, but the helmet that Let Me Solo Him uses, which is kind of a jar, you get from doing his quest line. So you have to decide what you want to do there. This is Alexander, the Iron Fist, and he needs your help. So either way, you want to help him. He tells you to give him a smack on the booty, and he'll come out. Couple smacks ought to do the trick. And now, if we talk to him, he thanks you for helping him and gives you an exalted flesh. Now, at this point, if you kill him, you'll get the item from him. He tells you he's going to go to Kalit. You can kill him without any repercussions to your platinum. But you will miss out on the jar helmet and the better version of his item. Now, I'm going to go through the story probably 3 times for the platinum. So for the first time, I am going to kill him. You don't have to do this. The second time through, you can do it if you want to. You do get a better version of his item if you wait. But I am going to use this item, so I'm going to go ahead and kill him. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And I will show you in the second playthrough probably where he shows up. I will try to remember to do that in this playthrough as well. Again, you don't have to do this by any means. But this item is pretty good and it is usable. Warrior Jar Shard. Either way, you'll end up killing him at some point probably. So I'm going to be using this. This boosts the attack power of skills. Well, I'm using the Ash of War on this, which is Square Off, which is a skill. So I will be using that. Don't feel like you have to follow my path. I will give you alternative talismans that you can use instead. It's just a slight damage boost if you use this. Either way, once you've freed him, you can come back down here, you can rest, and he'll move on to his next location if you didn't kill him. Okay, now from there, we've got mushroom, and then over here we've got another of those pumpkin heads that we fought. couple of square offs here, and then take care of him there. Again, he can drop his helmet, which is actually kind of cool helmet. It is rather large. And then right here, I have another smithing stone 1. So at this point, you should have plenty to upgrade whatever weapon you want. Choose a weapon that you like, and you should be able to upgrade it. We're going to have enough to upgrade quite a bit, and eventually we'll get the ability to buy these early level smithing stones, so no biggie. Talk to this guy, he sells some more, so we have 18 at the moment. 3 more, that gets us to 21 if we want to buy those. I don't need any more, so I'm not going to buy them. He also sells a short sword and the halberd if you start with a different class. He's also got the bandit starting mask. And then this gives you poison bone arrows. I don't recommend crafting these. You can buy them. But if you wanted to craft them for some reason, you have the ability. He also sells cracked pots. Alright, so from here, we went around, and we're going to make our way kind of down this area. On the way here, you should see some enemies show up here in the cemetery area here. There's one. You can get these guys spear if you want. You do have to kill a bunch of them to get it, but you can farm them. Crossbow guy, you can get his crossbow. Just make sure you pop them an extra time there. There is one that shows up right there. That one with the scythe. That is one of the better scythes. The Grace Scythe is one of the best scythes in the game. If you want a good scythe. Make sure you hit them a second time, or else they'll just get back up. And you can get that shield, which is alright. Alright, once you've dispatched all of those, roll through this item, get a golden rune if you want. And then over here is D. You talk to D, he tells you that there is a village ahead that has death. A mariner in specific. Just kind of giving you a warning. We are going to ignore his warning, as that's where we're heading, is into the village of death. Alright, so before we go that way, there is a grace here. We're going to go ahead and grab. Rest if you need to. And you see that guy out there in the boat? That is the mariners. So the mariners, there's several different types of them. They summon a bunch of skeletons and different things. But whenever you see them, if you want to kill them, you want to just focus on the mariner themselves. And basically ignore everything else the best you can. They will annoyingly teleport all over the place. So just use your horse, figure out where they went. Let's see, they summon stuff. So he should show up over here somewhere. There he is. Again, I'm just ignoring everything else the best I can. Watch out for the slam attack. Just back away. Don't get focused on items. We can pick those up after. Alright, so now he's gone. Now we can get this item. Smithing stone 1, and there's a couple of Trinia's lilies. And then we just go find him again. He should move over to the other side. There he is. And again, if you had an upgraded weapon, this would go a lot faster. Just watch out for the slam. He does have a little like splash move too. I guess it's, you know, something. If you had an upgraded weapon, you probably like one or two shot that guy. He's not really that tough. He's more annoying than tough, to be honest. And he's not afraid to kill his own guys, as you can see. Once you kill him, his enemies will die that he summoned. And you get a bunch of runes, and then you'll get Deathroot and some new ashes. Now these ashes are pretty good if you're using, if you're currently using the rats. I would probably switch to these. The reason is they keep coming back, and they're pretty good because of that. Now I would just kind of check around. There's going to be some items in these ruins. Not much, to be honest. Let's grab the stuff that's in here, some mushrooms and stuff. Nothing major. You can fight the skeletons if you want. What you're looking for in particular, one of these ruins has, there we go, there's D. So once you kill him, D will move. He's like, you don't listen to reason. He tells you about the strength of beast. And tells you about Garang. So accept his introduction. And now he marks the location on your map. Talk to him again. Alright. So now on your map, you have this little mark down here, the Sending Gate. So we will end up going there in a minute. First, we're going to go and just make sure we've cleared out these ruins as much as we want. I don't think there's anything else in here. Another of the grave scythe guys, if you want to try to get that scythe. Up this way, we have our turtles. So this is what we're looking for. You find the turtles. And now we're going to actually use one of those Stonesword keys. So examine this little statue, use the Stonesword key. And now go down in here, and we're going to get another talisman. So if you did not kill Alexander, these turtles are not hostile. You can kill them for crafting ingredients. But if you did not kill Alexander, this is the green turtle talisman. You could use this, and this one makes you recover stamina quickly. So you could use that instead. That's a good replacement for the time being. And I would use that if you're not using Alexander's talisman. Alright, from here, should be able to just kind of walk down this hill. There is a giant. Where is the drop off? There's the drop off. Alright, so we want to get to that little gravestone there. Drop down. And right over here you've got another area where you can get a bunch more golden runes. So you should be getting a nice little collection now. Golden runes 1, 5. The 5s are going to be worth quite a bit. Make sure you get all of them. There we go. Alright, and then one more. Alright, now we want to make our way to that church right there. But we need to find a safe way down. So there's an airstream over here, so we know that's pretty safe. So if you don't feel comfortable dropping there, you're afraid you might die, get on your horse. You're not going to make that, so just follow here. This is fine. And now there's some wolves here. Just keep going to this airstream, and right there's another scarab. So normally I approach the scarab from the other side so it doesn't run away forever and ever and ever. Just trying to keep it up on this hill so it doesn't run. And you get Sacred Blade, which is a very nice Ash of War. You can use to kill some stuff. And we're going to go in this church. Alright, inside of this church, I have a grace. Touch that real quick. And then right here, we have our Crimson Flask. Our Flask, Wondrous Physick, and our Crimson Tear. So you can mix elixirs, or that Strength Crystal Knot and the Faith Crystal Knot, those are going to go in there. And we have another Sacred Tear back here, and we're going to go ahead and mix up a Flask. So, Flask, we're going to go ahead and increase the amount, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to go to Mix Wondrous Physick. And now we can mix up our own little concoction here, right? So we got this one we just got, restores half of our HP in a mix, and we've got a Strength one and a Faith one. The Strength and the Faith ones are going to both increase our stats by 10 temporarily, so we're going to put both of those on. And that'll give us a nice little bump for our game. And then we did pick up a spell, so this is that Crystal Burst spell. We don't have the intelligence to use that. But yeah, and then you should be able to level up if you want. I'm going to actually save my runes for just a little bit. We're going to spend them here in the next episode. Alright, so you'll notice that we're right here by the Sending Gate. That's what we're going to start off the next episode in. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and make sure you do a like, a follow, leave comments if you have any questions. We'll see you guys next time.